To be a masterpiece and to be a work in progress at the same time. That's the art of falling in love with yourself.
I realize that sometimes the only one that can put the pieces back together is yourself.
With love, Mafe. Hey besties, welcome back to another episode of I Missed Me. My name is Mafe. I am your host and I am so happy and so grateful to be here. I am so excited for today's episode. First of all, look at our new set. If you're listening on Spotify, I'm finally going back to YouTube, and I know that I say this every single time that I start a new season, but it's hard. And I love being consistent. And I know that I've been absent in the past couple of weeks, and I'll talk about it in a second, but I love being consistent. And doing video episodes take me a very, very long time to edit. And I don't want to take weeks to edit one episode when I can just record the audio and upload it. So that's kind of why I just leave and abandon the videos. But I am finally going to start posting on YouTube, besties. I promise you that. You can now see and listen to the episodes on YouTube, and it's ad free. So I know that some of you guys are bothered by the ads. I'm sorry, your girl needs to monetize, but if you don't want to listen to ads, you can go ahead and listen to the episodes on YouTube, and I will be uploading all of the audio files that I have from I Missed Me, all 73 episodes, not on video, but audio files on YouTube so that you can listen to those ad-free as well. With that being said, welcome to another episode. I have a couple of things to tell you guys today before we start today's episode. First of all, I am sorry I've been absent. I know I've been traveling a lot and so many things have been going on in my life, and my life is just the most overwhelming it's been ever. I am making so many changes, so many decisions are going on that I will be telling you guys, and I will be updating you guys as time goes on, but everything is just so fresh and so many things are changing that I just need to settle down before I can tell you guys anything. But I went to LA last week. I don't know if you guys saw. If you follow me on social media, you probably saw, and if you don't, go follow me on social media, because I went to LA. I got the opportunity to record some episodes at Spotify Studios. It was a dream. I'm still shocked. I'm still processing. At the beginning of the year, when I did my vision board, Spotify and Spotify Studios was there, and it was just a dream come true. And it was just a proof that I'm on the right track, that I'm doing what I love, and that, I don't know, it was just the answer of a lot of prayers and a lot of manifestations that I had been asking for. And that trip was just amazing itself. I met Lisa Biliou. I got the opportunity to record with Lisa, with Tom Biliou, which are great podcast hosts that you may or may not know. But they are amazing people, so wise. I met Lewis Howes, the host of the School of Greatness, which hopefully I have the opportunity to record with soon as well. But I just came back super inspired and super motivated to keep recording and to keep doing what I'm doing, because you guys love it and I love it as well. Also, we woke up in the charts this morning again after a few months of not being in the charts, which was also a very big motivation of keep going, because sometimes it's hard to come up with topics. Sometimes it's hard to come up with episodes. Sometimes it's hard to find motivation. But these are the things that remind me what I do. And I want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for everything. Every single opportunity that I have because of the podcast is because of you guys. It's not because of me. It's because you guys listen. It's because you guys like it. It's because it's being helpful. It's because you're sharing it. It's because you're showing love to it. And that means the world to me. And I am extremely grateful. I am sorry for today's long intro. Also, I wanted to say something before we get started. While I was going to LA in the airplane, I was I don't know what to talk about. I don't have any more topics. Let me just re-listen to the first episodes that I posted on the podcast so that maybe I can recreate them, or maybe I can find inspiration of topics to talk about or something. Second episode that I start listening to, 10 seconds in, I had to turn it off. Besties. You have been fake to me. You're not real besties, because who was about to tell me that the sound quality of the podcast in the first few 10-15 episodes was ass? Why would you, if we're besties, why would you guys not DM me or text me, Mafe? The sound quality of the first few episodes is shit. You guys have to start being honest with me, and you guys have to start calling me out, because one thing about me is that I cringe at my voice. So I don't re-listen to my episodes. I record, I edit, and I post, and I never listen to them again because I cringe at my voice. And so I hadn't listened to those episodes ever since I posted them, which was like September 2022. And I was like, there's no way. Like, there's no way that this has been up this whole time with the sound quality being so shitty. So I have an idea, and I want to recreate those episodes, obviously with the main lessons of the episode that was posted and lessons that I've learned all throughout the year, which have been a lot, and I have changed a lot as a person, and I know you guys like those episodes, but I just cannot have them there with the sound quality being so shitty. So as I start recreating them, I'm gonna start deleting those first ones because I could not of secondhand embarrassment. You guys have to start being honest with me, and we have to start being real friends. And I don't take anything personal, but if you have any suggestion for the podcast, my DMs are always open from the bottom of my heart. Please let me know. On the topic of real friends, welcome to today's episode, where we're going to talk about friendships in general, friendship breakups, shitty friends, how to know if your friend is a shitty friend, how to know if you have to let go of the friend group that you have around you. Because I genuinely believe that friendships are very, very much underrated, and this is a realization that I've been having lately because I've been going through a lot mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. Everything in my life, I feel like it's changing, and I feel like the universe is putting things and people and situations in my life for me to come closer to myself. As I said, so many changes are going on, and when there's so much change happening in your life, the only constant that you can have is the peace that you have within. And so when life is moving you and throwing you around, the only person that you can really be rooted in is yourself. Now, friendships have been a very, very big part of my personal journey, and I don't think that I would be sitting here talking to you guys the happiest I've ever been if it wasn't because of the friends that I have around me today. My best friend, you guys have probably seen her because I post her all the time if you follow me. I love her with my whole entire heart. She is literally my sister, and the love that I have for her is really, 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 really unconditional. Maka, which I met a few months ago, has also become one of my closest friends. I love her with my whole entire heart. I am so grateful for her. My roommate, which I also love with my whole entire heart, and she listens to me, and she has seen me cry, and she has seen me at my worst, and she keeps listening to me, and she keeps being there for me. My manager that I also met a few months ago, that has been the biggest support, and I appreciate him with my whole entire heart, and my sisters that are always there for me. And I could go on with the list of people that I'm grateful for, and I genuinely feel gratitude, and I genuinely feel appreciation from the bottom of my heart towards those people. And I know that I'm here, and I know that I'm happy, and I know that I'm at peace partly because of them. Now, here are two very important points that I want to talk about. Number one, I know the difference between real friendships and not real friendships, and I know the difference between knowing when I belong and knowing when I don't, because I've been in situations where I know that I don't belong. And as rooted as you can be in yourself, and as much confidence and as much self-love that you think that you might have, if you're not surrounded by the right people, they are going to destroy you. That's number one. And number two, if you are not able to talk about the people in your life, like I was just able to talk about mine with love and gratitude and genuine appreciation, and talk about them forever and genuinely support them, and not feel not a single drop of jealousy or resentment or anger or comparison, but just pure genuine love and appreciation and support, you are not surrounded with the right people. And I know this because I've been through it, and I know the difference. I've been surrounded with people that I compare myself to, and comparison is very much a struggle that we have to work on within, and it's something that we have to heal. But if you are surrounded with people that you're constantly comparing yourself to, that you feel jealousy towards, or that you might feel that they feel jealousy towards you, or that you might feel that they're comparing themselves with you, or you feel resentment, or you feel anger, or you feel like you give more than what you receive, or you just genuinely feel like you're not compatible and you're having them in your life because you don't want to be alone, that is not a real connection, and that is not a real friendship. And today we're going to talk about why it is so important to let those type of people go. Now, let me talk about my own experience. I've never been someone that has a big friend group. I honestly consider myself now very, very friendly. I wasn't always like that. I was honestly, growing up, I was an asshole with my friends. I was super entitled and possessive, and I was that type of friend for a very long time until I met heartbreak, and it humbled me and it completely transformed me and turned me into a whole new different person. But growing up, I was very possessive, I was very obsessive, I was very controlling, mostly, and looking back at it now, because of fear of being abandoned or alone. Now, because of that, and because I was such a shitty person, I had shitty friendships around me and I had shitty people around me. Growing up, I was the youngest one in my grade. I was like 2 years younger than everyone. And so while everyone already had their friend group and they were hanging out and they were going to parties and stuff, I wasn't doing that. One, because I was younger and nobody invited me. But two, because again, nobody wanted to be around me. And so when one person did maybe show interest in being my friend, or when one person did show interest in hanging out with me, I would want to keep them for myself. And I wouldn't want them to have any friends, and I wouldn't want them to hang out with anyone else, because if I wasn't able to hang out and have other friends, then why would you? And I know that sounds so selfish, and I know that sounds so embarrassing, but that's the type of person that I was. The way that you act towards relationships is going to be reflected in everything that you do. And that is one of the biggest lessons that I took from my younger years, from 13, 14, 15, that the way that you act towards relationships is going to be reflected in every single aspect of your life. With that being said, again, I didn't grow up with many friends. I was alone most of the time, and not alone but not lonely. I felt very, very, very lonely. Then I moved to the United States, and again, I didn't have many friends, and the friends that I did have for a while were very shitty. I didn't feel supported. I wasn't invited to anything. I didn't feel welcomed. I felt like I was a weird one, like I was the one that everyone just like pushed away, or like everyone just didn't want to hang out with. And that really affected me, and that really affected my confidence, and that really affected my self-esteem. And looking back at it now, I feel like my self-love journey could have started way longer ago if I had the right people around me. And this is why it's so important to surround yourself with the right people. Now, when you have shitty friends around you, and when you're constantly attracting relationships that don't validate you, or that don't make you feel important, or that don't love you, or that don't support you, sometimes we have to look within and be like, do I support myself? Do I love myself? Am I confident? Or why am I attracting these type of people? Because we attract what we are. Am I not loving myself? Like, is the reason why I am attracting shitty people the fact that I have to work on myself? That's a very important question that we have to ask. But again, that goes into healing and self-work and getting over our traumas and inner child healing. But then on the other side, when we know who we are, when we know what we have to offer, when we're really trying our best to be the best friend possible, and when we're really trying our best to be supportive and to maintain a healthy relationship, and you still feel like you have shitty people around you, it is time to make some decisions, and it is time to let go. I get asked constantly and every day by you guys via DM or via the Spotify questions, how do I know if I have to let go of my friendships? First of all, if you're doubting it, that is an answer itself. I cannot imagine myself with the friendships that I have around me today, where it's pure love and they are very, very healthy friendships, being like, how should I let go of my best friend? Like, how should I know if I should let go of them? There is no question in my mind that I want them in my life. There is no question in my mind that I want to be surrounded by them, that they support me, that they love me, that I support them, and that I love them. There is absolutely no question. So if you're questioning yourself and if you're questioning your relationships, that is an answer itself. Now, why do we struggle so much with letting go? Fear. And whether it's fear of being alone, whether it's fear of not having someone to share my experiences with, or fear of not being validated anymore, or fear of whatever it is that you're afraid of after letting go of those friendships or of those relationships, first of all, ask yourself, am I getting that now? If I'm afraid to be alone, are you really not alone if you're surrounded by shitty people? if you're afraid of not being validated anymore, are you getting validated right now by the shitty friends that you have around you? Fear of not being loved. Do you think that that's like real, pure love? Do you think that the people that you have around you really, really love you? And when you start asking yourself those questions, you start realizing that you're actually not getting anything that you're afraid of losing right now. You're not getting real love. You're not getting real support. You're not getting real validation. And you're not getting to experience a healthy relationship now. So why are you so afraid of letting go of it? We come back to the self-work and getting to know ourselves, and that is why it's so important with any type of relationship to know yourself, because when you know yourself, you know what you want, you know the type of people you want to be surrounded by, you know the type of support, and you know the type of love that you want to receive, and you know when you're not getting what you're looking for or what you're asking for. So, besties, if you're in that process of not knowing if you should let go of your toxic best friend or friend group, or maybe you're in question, or maybe you're doubting if the friends that you have around you are right for you. Again, number one, if you're questioning it or if you're doubting it, the answer is probably you should let go, because you are supposed to feel sure of the relationships that you have in your life. You're supposed to feel genuine gratitude, genuine appreciation, genuine love. And if that is not what you're feeling, you are dishonoring yourself and the relationships that you actually deserve. So if you're questioning it, let them go. Number two, once you let go, you might feel lonely for a while, but that's just because you haven't worked on the friendship that you have with yourself. So instead of investing your most important currency, which is your time and your energy, into someone or into a friend group that is not appreciating it whatsoever, invest it into yourself. Start working on yourself, start getting to know yourself, start building a friendship with yourself. And when you're vibrating in the frequency of, I love the person that I am, and I love the friend that I am to myself, you are going to start attracting relationships that love you as much as you love yourself. Remember, if you attract who you are, you have to be your best friend. You have to be a great friend by yourself so that you attract great friends that love you as much as you love you. And number three, once you fully know yourself and once you fully enjoy your own company, start making a list. Either write it down or mentally start making a list of the things that you want in a friendship. I want someone who is able to understand me and listen to me, not judge me. I want someone who I can be myself around fully and not be embarrassed by the things that I do or my projects. I want someone who I feel fully supported by, fully loved, and start making a list of everything that you expect from a friendship. Because again, I feel like friendships are extremely underrated. Like, we have standards and we have expectations and we have so many things that we want to check off on boxes for romantic relationships. But if you really think about it, romantic relationships are just as important as friendships. At the end of the day, it is an energy exchange. You are sharing your energy and your time with everyone that you have a relationship or connection with. Might as well make them all worth it. How to know if you should let go of a relationship? If they make you suffer. If you constantly feel anxious about the people that you're surrounded by, if you constantly feel in doubt or unmotivated, or like you can't do something because you're going to be judged, or like you can't do something because what is this person going to think about me? Are they still going to want to be my friend after this? If you're constantly in doubt and if you're in constant anxiety and in constant suffering, that is how you know your body will speak to you, your gut feelings will speak to you. And the sooner that you let the people that aren't meant to be in your life go, the sooner that you will attract the friends that are actually meant to be in your life. And trust me, they exist. You are worthy, and this is very, very important. Before you receive any type of relationship, you have to believe it yourself. You deserve healthy relationships. You deserve healthy friendships. You kind of have to start believing it yourself again so that you start attracting it. I am a great friend. I am a great listener. I am a great support system. I love my friends with my whole entire heart, and anybody would want to have that. Anybody would want to be my friend. And when you start repeating that to yourself, and when you start vibrating in that frequency of I am a great friend, everyone would want to be my friend, trust me, they start coming to your life by themselves. Some of the biggest and closest people that I have around me today, I met this year. I met 3 months ago, 6 months ago. My best friend, I've known her for almost 5 years now, but there was a year where we didn't talk, and this year I think we became closer than ever because she grew so much as a person, but I grew so much as a person, and that's the only reason why we're able to maintain such a healthy friendship. And again, I grew so much as a person, and I changed my self-concept so much that I know that is the only reason why I was able to attract the friendships that I have in my life today. So, besties, to close off this episode, remember that you attract who you are. If you want great friendships, if you want healthy friendships in your life, start working in the relationship that you have with yourself. Also, start letting go of people that you know don't serve a purpose in your life anymore. Thank them, forgive them, but again, let them go, because the more that you hold on to toxic relationships, the more that you postpone experiencing healthy and loving friendships, and you deserve it. And that's it for today's episode, besties. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you guys like my new setup. I personally love it. It is very me, and I love talking to a camera, and I missed this, and this is so cool. I love it. I love you guys with my whole entire heart. Don't forget to follow I Missed Me on social media at I Missed Me Podcast on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Don't forget to follow me on social media at Mafe on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And don't forget that I also have a clothing brand at No Name Project CO on Instagram, TikTok. NoNameProject.co is the website to get your hoodie. On that clothing brand note, if you got to this point, which I forgot to say at the beginning of the episode, so I will probably say it at the beginning of next episode, I am turning No Name Project, which is my clothing brand, into a project by I Missed Me, which means that you will be seeing a lot more content of No Name on I Missed Me and vice versa, because I want to combine them both. They both have a healing, self-growth message behind it, and I thought it would be a very good idea if I combined my two babies together. So I am opening a section next year that is going to be called, at the end of every episode, Notes from a Stranger, which is basically a section where I am going to leave a little box at the bottom of every single episode from now on. You guys can probably see it on this episode already on Spotify if you have Spotify. A little box that says, leave the best advice you've ever received, and I am going to anonymously read it at the end of every episode, because maybe a stranger says something that might be helpful for you, and it might be a message that you might need to hear in the right moment. So you never know. That box is going to be there at the end, at the bottom, of every single episode on Spotify if you have Spotify. And if you don't, you can just DM me or email me, and I will read it anonymously at the end of every episode. That's it for today's episode, besties. I love you guys with my whole entire heart, and I will see you guys next week. With love, Mafe.
To be a masterpiece and to be a work in progress at the same time. That's the art of falling in love with yourself.
I realize that sometimes the only one that can put the pieces back together is yourself.
With love, Mafe.